I've got two children, Bella and Jackson. Jackson just graduated from university. He really was dying to get back out in the sea and say, hey Dad, can we just go out and go fishing? Nothing makes my heart beat more than just the smile on his face or when he catches the fish.
I had contacted all my friends for a nice fishing trip and they were super excited. They don't get out fishing too much, so it was going to be a nice experience. Day of, it's all great spirits, everyone's so excited. We launched with no troubles, got straight across the bar and just headed out to go fishing.
We'll go down to Bushel Shells, which is like a long way down towards Kaikoura. Get down there, fishing was fantastic. Then I knew I had like about an hour up my sleeve, so then we turned around and then the southerly kicked in.
Wind picked up on our way back and just started smashing against us.
Two of the lads I think were seasick, definitely medics. It was real seasick, so that really slowed us down a bit too.
On the way back, we were sitting there, keeping an eye on the time. We were like, oh, it's getting a bit late. We were just hoping for the best, hoping that we'd like be able to cross it, hoping we'd make the bar, and yeah, unfortunately we didn't.
We're not going to get any more water until like 11 o'clock that night. The high tide was coming in at 11 o'clock. Then we went back out and waited for the tide to come back in.
At this point, we still thought that things would be okay. We thought we'd just wait out there and then come back in at 11:30 and we'd all be a bit tired, but we did not realise what was to come.
Fuel levels were definitely dropping down, but what I didn't realise in the boat was that the gauge was offset. When it was bone dry, it was still sitting on a quarter of a tank, so the fuel gauge doesn't actually work 100% on the boats. So we're coming back in, she was definitely dark. Then we ran out of petrol coming just before coming around to Motunau. I then put on the auxiliary.
The wind just continued to pick up, the waves continued to get bigger. At this point, we got stuck in the rollers and we were just getting hammered by 3-metre waves.
And when you hit one, the boat goes along quite fast, and then when you're in the auxiliary, you don't have the horsepower or the steering.
A massive wave comes in and just smashes into the side of the boat, knocking one of my good friends overboard.
We lost the auxiliary tank that had all the petrol.
But I thought, like, he was gone. Like, I was looking around trying to work out where he is. Finally saw him after maybe about 20 seconds and we were just yelling out to him, making sure that he was responding to us and that he wasn't drowning or anything.
But as I was swimming back to the boat, I was getting pulled in by the waves and the boat was getting pushed away by the waves. Yeah, I was yelling at them to come pick me up, but obviously the gas tank was gone, so they couldn't come and grab me. If I wasn't wearing a life jacket, I probably would have sunk, to be honest. I probably wouldn't have popped back up above the surface, to be fair, but I would have drowned. And luckily I made it back, pulled me over and back in the boat.
I kind of just started to lose my head a little bit, grab the beacon, trying to set things off, and then pulled out my phone and started calling the police at this point.
Once we got Xena on board, then the head game starts, because these waves torment you. They come up and they break over you, and you don't know which one's going to like be the one that's going to take you out completely. It was just hell, and you couldn't get out of it. As a person that's in charge of the boat, you've put these other 4 souls in this situation and you think, what the hell have you done? That's the thing that gets to you. When Sander went over, we'd lost him. It would be pretty hard to look anyone in the eye again after that.
At this point, we had received an ETA that I believe was about an hour and 15, maybe an hour and 30 minutes. We didn't think we would make it. We thought, right, one of these waves that are crashing on either side of us is going to hit us, and it's going to flip us.
And then hypothermia sets in, especially Xander, he was in the water at 8 degrees, so his body temperature was rolled down. The chattering of his teeth were just incredible, but we all huddled together, we put a survival blanket, and then he was just absolutely cold to the bone. If another wave comes in and rolls that boat, how the hell do we get out of it, out of that cold sea at 8 degrees with swan dryers on, jackets on? It'll take us pretty fast.
Once I knew Coastguard was there, I was like, yep, we're going to get out of here. So yeah, quite a good feeling.
As soon as the lights come, it was like God arriving. It was like, we're going to come out of this. It was the best moment of my life, I reckon, yeah.
When I stepped onto that Coastguard boat, I knew that I would just sit down and everything would be fine. If the Coastguards weren't there, then I think we all would have died from hypothermia. We were all freezing at this point. If one wave had hit us and flipped us, then yeah, like we didn't think we would be able to make it.
The key learnings I've really learnt from this experience is you can never be prepared enough. First thing I did is put onto my bar awareness seminar. You can't get enough information.
No matter how many years boating experience you have, no matter who you know out on the water, no matter how much help you think you have, things can go wrong, and they will go wrong in the ocean because that's the way the ocean works. So just having action plans and having previously talked to the passengers about how you will go through events as they occur prior, that's how I would go about it every time from now on. I had never thought about this before the incident, but after almost dying, it's a realization we've all had, and we've come together, and now we'll be planning trips very in depth before we go out.